have to use social media in a way, right? You can't just, I call what I like to call post and ghost, right? I'm just going to make a post and then you're never going to see me or hear from me again, right?
Welcome to Black and Blue, the podcast that's just for you. We bring solutions to everyday problems. We are here to humanize the badge by interviewing first responders and discussing their trainings, experiences, and publications. Black and Blue airs weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in.
Like I said, I knew that since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a police officer. So like I said, I got to be 31. I put in the application, passed the testing, got hired on, and that's where my big plan ended. I had no idea what I wanted to do after that. So, like everybody, you go through the academy and you hit patrol for, however long you do. So I did a couple of years in patrol and decided I still didn't really know. I thought maybe investigations, but I didn't think that I was ready for that yet. So I became a field training officer, training, people getting out of the academy and how to do things the Glendale way where I work. Right. And I got to take on some crime scene officer duties when I was there. So, go around photographing crime scenes, collecting evidence and that stuff. On minor crimes, no like CSI Glendale or anything like that. But, and then 4.5 years in, I decided I wanted to be a detective. I felt like I was ready. And I took the test and made the list and got the call. And I'll never forget it. I got the phone call from a sergeant that I actually worked on patrol for at one point. And he says, hey, we got openings in fraud and forgery. And that's where my dad worked for a number of years. So I always thought I would get into that. And I was like, So he says, we got fraud and forgery or sex crimes. That one was available. So I was like, oh, geez. I called him up and I said, hey, here's what they offered me. He said, dude, you got to come here. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have so much fun. I'll teach you everything that I know. And now I'll backtrack it. Now, please, if you would have told me 20 years ago, Tom, you're going to go into sex crimes, you're going to love it, I would have told you you're nuts. I don't want to talk about that stuff. I don't want to think about that stuff. I don't want to deal with it. But I took the chance to work with my friend, and it was incredible. One of the best things that I've ever done, not just in my career, but in my entire life. Being able to people in such a real way on such a deep level on one of the most horrific things that could happen to them, short of murder, and just helping people in that just real way and connecting with changed my life. It really did. And then about 10 years ago, I did that for, about 4 years, 4.5 years. And about 10 years ago now, this month, it's 10 years. An opportunity came available to work in backgrounds and recruiting. And that is something that I always, thought I had an interest in. I had a really good experience with my recruiter and background investigator when I was going through the process. And I said, gee, it'd be really cool to help people that way too. So I took a chance, I got the spot, and I've been here ever since. And you have to use social media in a way, right? You can't just, what I like to call post and ghost, right? I'm just going to make a post and then you're never going to see me or hear from me again, right? That's not helping to these companies who are like, oh, we'll take care of your recruiting for you. And they make these nice posts. And again, they look great. Yeah. They look great. They're not doing anything for you, because here's the true key to social media and recruiting is, remember what we talked about. Recruiting is about relationships. Recruiting is about relationships now more than ever, okay? So you have to use social media to meet your applicants where they're at, right? There's three keys to effective recruiting in 2023 and 2024. You have to meet your applicants where they're at, build a relationship with them, and show them why people like them work for you. Those are the three keys. If you can do those three things, you will win with recruiting, just like I have for the past, now 2017 is when we started really getting into this type of stuff. So for the past 5 years, this is what we've done to be successful. And there's no quick solution. This is another thing. Everybody's dying. They're hurting for bodies. And I get it. I've been there. I know what it's like to have the chief coming down going, hey, why don't we get more people? I've been there. I've had that conversation, right? So I understand the pain, but you have to realize that there is not a quick solution to this. Times have changed. Things have changed. we have to change right along with it. Recruiting is a long game, and you have to be willing to, if you truly want to be successful, you have to be willing to apply the right resources in the right places. That is paramount, and that's the main thing that I see agencies struggling with.
Gotcha.
Is having enough people to be able to do this. It's a mindset. That's the advice that I give you. If you're out there and you're struggling and you're like, I just don't know if I can do this, rediscover yourself, refine yourself. It's a choice. Every single day you have a choice. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be miserable. The choice is yours, regardless of what's going around you, regardless of what's happening. Somebody makes a comment, you can be mad about it, or you can go, yeah, I don't care. My life's still going on either way, right? You know how many times I've been called an a-hole or whatever, right? But here I am, 51 years old, still ticking, right? It doesn't matter. So it's a mindset, and that's what I would encourage people to do, is to change your mindset. And it happens so fast. It doesn't take this long process of okay, I got to work on myself. No, it's like that. I'm not going to be miserable anymore. It's really that fast when you put your mind to it.